If I had a coin for every time I ask somebody what book they're reading, and then they reel off all these, what I'd call management style, self help books, I would be a rich person. Very often, people, when talking about their reading culture, will be talking about books they read, which include relationship advice. They're talking about confidence building measures. They're talking about financial management, career advice, that sort of thing. And that's all very well. But this cannot be the staple diet of any person who is thinking about just growing in wisdom. And it can definitely not be the staple reading diet of any person who is in a position of leadership and trying to guide, groups of people. Of course, it's understandable. I get it. Especially when you're coming together as a book club or when you're coming together as a group of friends or even, just alone, to pick up this very nice book which tells you, about, I don't know, the road less traveled. Some of these books, it's very simple because there's no argument. We all read a little bit and then from here we can have a conversation. It's not going to be too complicated to get something going. But when you think about what we're looking for many times when we're discussing wisdom, when we're discussing life, what we're also looking for is to find the meaning of life. And many times it's difficult, everybody, especially when some of these motivational speakers or people are telling you, go out there, find out the meaning of your life. Don't let anybody define who you are. The truth of the matter is, when you think about it, not everybody, and in fact, very few people, once you've taken away a kind of moral order in society, can go away and think about it and come back with the meaning of life. We all need guidance. And among us, there have been those people who are put to help us in this search. It takes a lifetime. And we would have to be rebuilding our lives over and over again as civilizations if there wasn't this body of knowledge that is being passed on from one generation to the next generation about life and the mysteries of life. And I was recently reading this wonderful book. If you get a chance, read it. It's called Fahrenheit 451. One of the lines in the book says that the books are only the receptacles where the truth is hidden. And he's right. The book itself doesn't have any kind of mysterious knowledge. The book itself doesn't define the truth. It's the receptacle, it's where this truth can be found. There are those who walk along nature and they find certain truths. Using nature alone, people have been able to define, for example, the existence of God because the truth is out there. But now, to come back to what I am saying about books defining and helping us to find the meaning of our lives, what I'm saying is that there are those who have written books where they have talked about some of these ideas. They've talked about literally the meaning of life. Yeah, they've talked about love. They've talked about betrayal. They've talked about how to overcome grief. You only have to read C.S. Lewis's A Grief Observed. And when he describes what he's going through after his wife's death, to really help you with your own grief. Only by reading some of these books, then you realize how indeed they do contain certain truths that then help us to address the mysteries of our own life. Man's search for meaning precisely does that, doesn't it? If any of you have read it, where it helps us to unearth and to find meaning for our own lives. To sum up, What am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that management style, self-help books do not in a way help us to unearth the mysteries of life. What they will do is give us a set of instructions where most of the knowledge has been sifted out, and then they tell you point number 1, do this, number 2, do that, number 3, do the other. Now, when it comes to unearthing the mysteries of our own life, what you want is not somebody to spoon feed you, but you want somebody to teach you how to think like that. How did you arrive at that solution? How did you arrive at this? And I'm saying that deeper books do that. They walk with you along that path. And therefore, as the character is growing, as the character is becoming, you are also becoming. Hence, the growth of the character is also our own growth. And the moment of truth for the characters in the book is also a moment of truth and is also a moment of knowing for us. With time, I'm sure you've come to realize that there is no shortcut to wisdom, to deeper wisdom. When you're young, it's enough for the parents to say to you, don't steal, obey your parents. But as we quickly find out, as we get into adulthood, it's not enough to just give us instructions and tell us do this and do the other. The question also has to be responded to, why are we doing this? And very good books do that. Difficult books do that. So therefore, lean away from making some of these books your staple diet. Am I saying get rid of this book altogether? Of course not. At least once a year, try and read, but choose one carefully. Ego is the Enemy, Deep Work. Such books. Books that also will help you just a little bit. Tipping Point, maybe. Ultimately, what you're looking for over and above how to manage situations, which is, I know what takes us to those career books and relationship books. Ultimately, what we're really looking for, you'll notice, is we're trying to respond to universal themes, to universal ideas: love, fear, birth, death, betrayal. How do I handle these things? Ultimately, these are really the themes that guide our lives. And what I'm saying is they have been addressed much better in certain kinds of books and not in others. So, if you're looking for a deeper, much more comprehensive response to these things, then you want to go with a deeper and a better articulated book rather than the quick fixes which will be in some of these books. Read hard books.